What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back to podcast. I have no idea. I have actually no idea what number it is.
No, me neither.
I'm gonna go six,
Yeah,
probably six or so. Um, let's call it emergency podcast.
yeah.
Let's call it like that. People have been asking for it. So Julian is back, which is good because I cannot talk a lot. So it's good to have Julian back. First off, it's been a while. Let the people know
Yes,
you're still alive.
I am more than other people. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm back. Having a almost 2-year-old, it's very tough to just have my own time. Um, and here we go. I actually, to be honest, you sent me a message a long time ago. I didn't even see it. You know that always
I
happens to
forgot
me. You know,
about it.
WhatsApp. Yeah, the WhatsApp, the notifications, they just stink. Like, but it is what it is, and I'm here. I'm trying to help. And State of the Union, state of emergency. This is what we're in right now because it's not good.
Well, if you wanna,
Juventus is not good.
if you wanna help, you can maybe play. I don't know, center back. Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I have less ACLs than most people, but I can still probably do a job.
I mean, if you can stay fit for about 2 weeks, that's already. I think you will get
Yeah.
approved.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
don't know. I'm
bare
six
minimum.
one. I'm 6'1". I meet the height potential of this team, except for Chico. And I can play. I'm probably better than Lloyd Kelly. I'll tell you that.
As long as you can head a ball away from a set piece, it's already
Yeah.
a step in the right direction. I think at this moment in time.
And then everyone will be like, "Oh my God, you're the best." Do you see him clear the ball? Grinta. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trigger words, buzzwords.
Yeah, they're
Well,
not
that's
helping us the buzzwords.
yeah.
Not really, I guess.
No.
Even though after Cagliari, I looked at the standings and I was like, this league is bad.
It's
Like
bad league.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's really bad because I thought about the ridiculous points we dropped, like 13
Yeah.
draws. Even how bad we are this season. In a normal season, that's like 8, not 13.
Yeah.
And you have about 6 points more, and you're up there. You're
Yeah.
actually in it. That's how crazy it is, but it's also the reality. So the title of the show is "Who Will Survive This Part of 2025 until the summer, basically," because I think the jury is out on a lot of players, coaches, on everyone. Yeah, maybe management wise, I don't know, especially from a fan's perspective.
Oh yeah.
But first, before we get into it, because we haven't spoken for a while, what do you make of just everything? The obviously on the pitch, off the pitch, the injuries, the
Yeah.
individuals, like just the entire package.
So where should we begin? Let's talk about injuries first because I feel like the injury part is easy to talk about because we've been used to having so many injuries for so many years now. It's just a matter of, and I think I went into this too. If you have like a tired muscle on this team, you are out for 3 games.
Yeah,
And I don't think you see that anywhere. Like for Atalanta players, if you tear your ACL, you're back in 4 months.
yeah,
And I thought that we, as a club, fired the old medical staff coming into the summer. Correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah. We did.
So I have no idea what is going on. Obviously, you build a squad that you need to deal with injuries. Like that's how you plan, right? You don't plan to have 16 players like Manchester City. You plan to have 22 because you know the injuries are going to happen. It's just, and then we heard about Thiago Motta's second guy in charge, the French dude. What's his name? Hergo,
Yeah, something like that.
whatever. And then we heard all about how he does his fitness stuff and his motivational stuff. Obviously, it didn't work, brother. Like obviously, ACL tears, tired muscles everywhere. I am shocked that Gatti has not missed a minute
Yeah, it's a miracle.
since like November. Build a stat or use his body and use it for medical studies. That's what I'm going to say for that. Everyone else has been injured. at least once for a 3-game period. Correct? This season? I'm almost certain.
I think everybody picked up an injury, which is fine. I think the problem is they picked him up again and again. Douglas Luiz, for example, he was clean at Villa. He steps on the pitch for 15 minutes and he's out again, probably for a good month and a half now. I don't know how you explain that. Like, literally.
And it's very strange because when you come from the Premier League and it's up and down the whole game, especially with Aston Villa playing Unai Emery up and down football, and then you come here and it's like, okay, we sit back for a bit and then we go, like, is it just because it's a different type of game, like, for him personally? Like, I don't understand.
I mean, yesterday or against Cagliari,
Yeah,
it just happened out of the blue as well.
yeah, exactly. I didn't even see what happened. Did you see what I didn't?
I rewatched it, but like, I'm gonna say nothing happened. I mean, he got injured, which is, I don't know. Like, did the medical staff made a mistake?
That could be it too. But even like these are the muscle injuries, right, that we're talking about. Even like Cambiaso's foot.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. He should have been playing after 2 weeks. Like, I don't know what. It's an ankle twist. You should be fine. And it wasn't even because of his body weight wasn't even the cause of it. It was the ball. Remember that shot that hit his foot?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but he should have been playing after 2 weeks at full fitness. So I don't know what the hell happened there. Like, this is what I don't understand the injury front. And I'm gonna say this right now. It shouldn't even be a reason why we're dropping points.
That was my question. How much does it affect? Like prepping, basically, because it's in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah, that's fair. The preparation in terms of continuity and all that stuff, fine. But when you play, like yesterday's result, sorry, when is this coming out? It doesn't matter. Yesterday's result against Cagliari at the time of recording, those are the games you should be winning with a mixed squad.
Yeah.
We weren't doing that at the beginning of the year.
No.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I still don't even know the style of play from Thiago Motta. I have big questions for him. I was so happy when he was announced and all that stuff. I thought stuff was going to change. But you know what? It's the same lack of intensity throughout matches, throughout periods of like weeks of games. Yeah, against Inter, we were pretty good, right? First half, not really, because we were kind of like squeaky bum time defensively. But even like, it's just there's no continuity, and I'm still not. I don't care that we don't have or we lack the players because of injury. Like, there should still be a mindset instilled into the team. You know what I mean?
My issue is I see it in glimpses. I don't see it throughout 90 minutes. That's my biggest issue. Yeah. That I can see things where I'm like, okay, like Inter or Cagliari the first half. You know, playing 120 minutes, we pressed them. We won the ball back ASAP. And I knew we couldn't keep all of in the second half because we just played 120 minutes. I can live with that for one game. But throughout the season, it's within games. Like that it's the highs and the lows the difference is too big. Like it's way too big to say I can see better things. Like I can see better things.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not. I can't blame the injuries on that. Like, sorry, if you see 20 minutes of like proper football that you want to play, but then the next 20 minutes it drops off. Like how does that happen? Is that mentality?
Also, but also I blame him as well for it's chopping and changing every single week. Yeah, like at the back, I can get it because everybody's getting injured and back again. It is what it is, I guess. But there's no continuity. Like Yildiz sat on the bench for 3 weeks, and then it's Conceição's time to sit on the bench for 3 weeks, and then it's tough to find some continuity. Then it's McKennie playing as a 10, which is not really working in my opinion because he's not.
It's not, man. It's not good.
I appreciate it, but like he has a limit. Like, and that's not me shitting on McKennie. He just has a limit. He has a ceiling, and he does what he can. But you take so much away from that position. Like there's no continuity, in my opinion. That's how I'm looking at it when I'm watching.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you're making it. Now we play once a week. I'm expecting continuity. I'm expecting difficult slash easy choices, in terms of personnel. You are the starters. And that's it. We go with
And
this.
what's worrying as well is in his press conferences, we wanted this from Max Allegri, right? We wanted the continuity and the not changing of the lineup, and we wanted it based on merit, who starts, correct?
Yeah.
When Motta speaks in the press conferences, I've been reading him in your series of tweets. He says the opposite. Like, he says it's based on meritocracy, but like when Thuram plays 5 great games in a row and then he's benched for 3, what does that mean? Like, how does that happen? Thuram should start every game.
There's no explanation. I mean, I thought, like, coaches have favorites. Like, it is what it is, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
But when he came out post PSV, I cannot like accept it because he said Cope was sick the day before. I'm like,
and you don't start him.
It's a Champions League knockout game. Like you threw Cope Miners under the bus. One, you threw yourself under the bus, and you probably made Thuram sit at home being like, shit, really? Yeah. Like it was such a big, I don't know what he thought he was doing something wow by saying it in terms of like excusing whatever, but he made it worse because he admitted that he started the team or he started the game not 100%.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's damning in my opinion, especially when the day before Thuram played well. Like it makes no sense to me personally. So I agree with that. Like he's making weird decisions where I'm like, I cannot follow you. Like I'm not one of those people saying get him out, but I cannot follow everything he does because he makes it hard at times for me personally.
Sure. Like Conceição, based on the last couple of games, should not start the next game if you're doing the meritocracy thing.
No.
Right?
No.
Yildiz should be starting. Thuram should be starting. McKennie should start as a fullback.
Yeah.
Sure. Especially if you're doing the Cambiasso, he's not 100% fit too. Like it does. What's that word? It contradicts itself. He contradicts himself.
He does
when he talks in the press conference. And that's what I've been noticing via obviously your tweets. I don't watch him speak. Obviously, I follow it through the Bianconeri's on X Twitter account. So I'm not sure why he contradicts himself. I'm not sure if he thinks he's protecting the players like you were mentioning, but like you said, not a good look. Coop Miners, big bust. He should be riding pine for the foreseeable future. Well, probably can't now because Luiz is hurt again. But I think your 2 midfielders should be Locatelli, Thuram, and then Yildiz as a 10 for the foreseeable future because we have not many more midweek games. I think there's only like the Coppa Italia, those couple games.
Yeah.
So
2, 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3, right? You shit yourselves against PSV. Like, we look like fucking. Sorry, I swore. We look like FC Utrecht or like a Willem. We looked worse than those teams against PSV. It was that like I was so embarrassed. I was like, what am I watching here?
What like in that game besides tactics? Because I thought PSV threw that out of the window in the second half as well. They just went for it, just pure adrenaline and pure, I don't know, passion, drive. I don't know.
Yeah.
And post game, Motta said, no, first Locatelli came out and he said they wanted it more than us. Yeah. And Motta comes out and he said, Locatelli said that. I think he's wrong. I'm like, we have eyes. Like, the first half, we were in total control. PSV were non-existent.
Yeah.
They had nothing. I'm not saying that we had anything, but we were just in total control. We were just cruising.
We were canceling them out. Yeah.
It was just easy to make that switch in the second half from PSV. I'm like, they didn't switch anything. It was just mindset. Because not Sanabria, Sabari, he was awful in that first half. I thought he was getting subbed. He was playing with us. And in the second half, he cooked us. So it's a mindset. And I'm like, you don't admit it. And then the most damning thing was, I thought last week he did the most damage he ever did with his words, because
Yeah.
they were on top, and I was like, make the subs, and they were ready.
Yeah.
Where I scores that 1-1, I'm like, great, make a sub
Make
now.
the subs. Yeah.
Put in the energy. We needed the fresh legs. And he
Yes.
doesn't do that. And post game he said no. And I was watching the studios, and the people in the studio were like, you effed up there. Not saying we would have won that game,
No.
but man, like
It
consistent.
changes.
Yeah, players were not playing anymore. They were dead on their feet. And you didn't do that. And you cannot admit to it. That I was like, I cannot follow, because that was just not my opinion. That was the opinion of millions. It wasn't a one-off opinion where it's like, oh, you have an agenda. Everybody saw it. And you can't admit to it. I thought that was extremely frustrating. And I was like, I'm not sure what you gained from that. I'm not so sure.
Yeah. The only thing that you can, like, as a fan, you can take away from it is, did he actually just want to save his face again on his press or post conference, or is it a thing that he's going to continue to do? Because we've seen it already this year, not just PSG. We've seen him have subs ready. Something happens, either a big, like a goal for, a goal against, or like a big match event, right? And then he puts them away, or says go back. I've seen it before this year, so I think that actually is his mindset, and I don't like that. You're making just make the changes, bro. Like, seriously, he waits to the 75th minute every game. Obviously not against Cagliari. I think he did a 60th minute, but again, that's probably coming off of 120 minutes midweek. So he had to make those changes. But like, if something's not working, who do we play next?
In the league, Verona,
Yeah, and that's this weekend, right?
Monday.
So next, because
we
we have
play.
a Coppa Italia game this week.
Yeah, we play Empoli Wednesday.
So that doesn't work out. So the next game after Verona is probably a week away, a week apart or whatever.
I think it's Atalanta.
If something's
I'm not
not
mistaken.
working after 60 minutes, make a change, bro. Or even 55 minutes. You still have 20 players to use, even with Kalulu hurt and Vega and Luiz. He still has players. By the way, how long is Vega out for? 3 weeks?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of pointless to. I don't like.
Yeah.
Savona's out for 15 days. It's not gonna be 15 days. It's
Wait, when
gonna
did
be
Savona get hurt?
the other day in training.
In training.
So he's out.
Very
Like
cool. Yeah.
whatever timeline Cambiasso is out. Douglas Luiz is out.
Yeah.
So I don't like
But
whatever
again,
time frame they put on it.
yeah.
I don't really care right now, because it's
Yeah.
it's in, and then you can be inaccurate with the time, but when it's every single player and you're off weeks, not days, then
Yeah.
I don't care about the reporting anymore. I know
Yeah, it's true.
that we are in trouble at the back, and Motta is in trouble, basically, and that's something I cannot hold against him. Basically, if you lose Bremen at the start of the season, it's rough. Like,
Yeah.
that's probably your best
We all
player.
knew it. Yeah,
Like,
we all knew it though.
it's
we
rough.
knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, adapt to it. And I thought he did with Kalulu, for a while. And I was like, cool. And then what happened? We conceded goals here and there. I'm like, okay, fine. It is what it is. And now Kalulu goes down. You get Vega, who's playing well. He goes down. And I'm like, and then Cambiasso comes back. He's out again. Savona comes back. He's out again. I'm like, it's too much to overcome at one point. Or like, not to do well in games, but to build anything. And on top of that, all the players who are half decent on the ball are out. They're out as well. So it's very tough to sit here and be like, I want to see what you did at Bologna 100%, pound for pound, or your idea. Because I know, because in the summer, I thought it was impossible when the window shut down. I was like, it's not going to happen. He's going to need to figure it out. Yeah. Looking at it right now, I'm like, it's definitely not going to happen. When I see Kelly and Gatti as center back, it's impossible. Like, that's probably the worst pairing playing out from the back out there. Like, they can't. They just can't.
Which goes, maybe a little transition here. what the heck is Giuntoli doing?
Well, that was what we all said, in the
Yeah.
summer already, let alone January, I thought.
Well, in the summer, we we knew what he really wanted, right?
Yeah, but
He wanted Calafiori, and obviously he should have probably got Calafiori in the end. He spent so much money that you're like, dude, you should just gave him the money. And
yeah,
we knew that, and that's hindsight now, and that's whatever in the past. But you spent the 50 on Coop Miners, who you really wanted, bust. So is that a Giuntoli issue, or is that a Thiago Motta not getting him right issue? You have to, we have so many different players now. The whole team's almost different from last year, which
oh
is
yeah, it is.
crazy. Like, almost, how many survivors are there from last year?
Not
That's
many.
crazy.
I don't think a lot will. I think that's the title of the show. Literally, who will survive. Like, before we talk about Motta, other players who are playing already for their Juve career, basically.
Yeah. Well, Vlavic's gone. We know that.
Yeah, I don't think he's
like,
playing for his career. I think that's
Yeah.
set in stone that he's
Yeah.
gone. But for example, let me name a few.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name him Gatti because there are rumors about not getting along with Motta. Just forget about do you rate Gatti, yes or no, because I know what
Yeah.
your opinion is. But is that a player? Because keep in mind, you bought Kelly. Like, he's gonna be here. Bremer is coming back. Kabbalah's coming back. You have Gatti for now as well. It's still not good enough. So I think that backline is gonna get a massive overhaul in the summer.
Yeah.
Like a massive one. And I think Gatti's not certain of his position, but I don't know what you think. Is he playing for his future?
I'm gonna say he's playing for. Yeah, he wants to show that he belongs here and he wants to stay, obviously. And I don't know if he can. I don't know if anybody can confidently say he is a starting center back. Even actually, no one can say that. Who are we kidding? He's not a starting center back at this team. He'll have the great games against Inter, right? He'll have the great games in the biggest game, or in the biggest games, and then against, like, what was that game last year? Sassuolo. He'll have 15 mistakes. What was that game where we made all those mistakes?
It was Sassuolo. I think it was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago. That's right, because Sassuolo's not here anymore. And against the lower end teams, he has brain farts all the time. He's not good in the air. No matter how much people want to say he has all the spirit and all that, we suck at defending crosses. He's a big reason for that. He's never in the right spot in our box defending. Even against PSV, it goes off his shin, off the goalie, and then he's like it's a disaster in the box. From I'll say, or the middle of our defensive third to like higher up the field, I think he's actually not bad. Winning the ball up high, might be too aggressive sometimes, but I think he's not bad in that area defending. However, in our box, disaster, man. Like, you can't have that. He's all over the place. He doesn't know where to be. I think in best case scenario for him, he's a fourth choice center back at this club. But I think if you're Giuntoli, you sell him for 25 mil if you get that offer. Absolutely.
Do you think they're gonna retain Kalulu? Because
I heard that he's got injuries and they might not. I would retain him. It's only 14 million.
you know what it is? He stayed fit until now, and it was a freak injury, or like just stupid. If you can remember, just like he stretched. He slept to cover up for a mistake from somebody else, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just he was staying healthy as well. So I'm asking it because he's cheap, in my opinion, or like for what it is.
Yeah, you retain that guy for 14 million.
And he can play multiple positions, and he proved that he can play multiple positions. So I thought, I was like, cool. So that's one of them. I'm not gonna ask you way out because I think he's gonna stay. If he plays like that in this position,
yeah,
you're just gonna keep him. He's cheap.
Already proven it. Yeah,
he's cheap, and I think for once, finally, we found a position. Maybe he's still not. Maybe he needs to learn defensively, but I mean, I think that's just normal. It is what it is. I think it's gonna be an overall in the summer. So I think some of them are playing. I don't think a player like Savona will be here anymore. Maybe a player
No,
like Alberto Costa is gone because I've not seen him, which is extremely strange. Yesterday against Cagliari,
yeah.
saw Rui
Oh
rocking
man.
up, and I was like, I thought you played for the next gen. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about you. He came on, it was a disaster. I'm not gonna knock the kid because I mean he's just not good enough. Like I
Was
cannot.
was this his first game since everyone ripped him on
Genoa.
social media?
It was against
Yeah.
Genoa. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
He took the first touches. They went out of the stadium basically. The
Yeah.
first couple of touches, and I'm not gonna blame him because he shouldn't be there.
He shouldn't even be on the team.
But he made that decision, Motta, to
Yeah.
play him.
In August.
And now I was like, just put
Yeah.
McKennie. Just slot in
Yes.
McKennie.
That's what I was saying tonight.
Slot
Yes,
in
when we were
McKennie.
watching. Yeah.
Why take that mess? It was a risk, by the way.
Yeah.
Against a better team, it would have cost us. I'm convinced about that.
100%.
I'm like, pull McKennie. Why? Why do you make it so tough? But forget about that. Midfield is a big one. Let me start with the elephant in the room, and that's Colt Miners, because it's obviously not going to play. I have no idea what happened because it looks like we have eyes, and I have eyes.
Yeah.
I've seen him in the Eredivisie. I've seen
Yeah.
him play well before he joined Atalanta. You cannot go from that to this because when I watch him now, it feels uncomfortable. Like watching him play, he feels uncomfortable. He doesn't feel comfortable. It feels like he is scared about losing every single ball or making the wrong decision.
Yeah.
I don't know, just his body language is complete off.
Yeah.
I have no explanation for it. I really don't. Maybe you. I cannot explain it.
I never want to buy a player from Atalanta ever again. I saw Lookman and I was like, no, sir. He can get 25 goals a year. I don't care. I do not want that guy on my team. I'm sorry. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I have no idea what the hell happened to this guy.
Do you think
Like
that we'll sell?
I don't think we will sell him because how do you sell that guy now for the amount that you bought him for?
No, you're gonna take a loss, obviously.
So there's no point. There's no point at this right now. Just let him see if you can have a full training or full preseason with us, right? Because he never had the preseason. You started off this season for like from a shit show from the start.
Which
Right?
which position do you think he can play? Because the only thing I can give him is if he's not playing, our press is off. It's non-existent.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can give him. But you
So
paid
I have
60
an
million.
idea.
So
Yeah. So you know how we line up with two holding midfielders, and
yeah.
I think you have to have two number 8s.
Okay.
Scrap the number 10.
Okay. Well, with
If you,
McKennie, it
if you have two,
make more sense to
sorry.
not play McKennie. I would agree with that. Well, now McKennie's playing that basically, so I would
Yeah.
agree because it's pointless.
Yeah, I would say scrap the 4-2-3-1 and just go 4-3-3, one base triangle, 2 8s, and run from there. Because at Atalanta, he was playing as a top triangle player, right? There was a striker, and then there was two guys behind them, and he was playing in the right, I think, the right space there. Some games. So I don't know, because he's fit enough. It looks like he can get around the field most times than not, right? Even when he had the flu against PSV, he was still running around a lot. Just did nothing. It was a cardio session.
He's not getting involved. I don't know if it's his fault or, like you said, the setup, the way we play. He's just not getting involved enough. And when he's getting involved, I don't know what it is. Most of the times when he's getting involved, it's on the sideline. I'm like,
yeah,
he's in areas where it also feels uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want to see you trying to link up play on the sidelines with our winger. Like, I want you more in open space. I don't know what it is. He's picking up wrong positions as well. Every time I watch him play, I'm like, you shouldn't be there.
Yeah, Locatelli screws him up a bit, I think. Because, Locatelli plays, like, bottom pivot, like, get the ball and play.
Yeah.
He just needs to be higher, but he can't be central. I think that's the issue. Like, Okay, sorry. So you're just talking about him playing wide. I don't want that either. I want him in between the right back and the right winger, in the middle between that area. Because at least at that point, if he's not playing centrally, he's not getting blocked off by their holding midfielders. He'll have like a little space to the right. But again, he should have fucking realized that already himself if he's a smart player. He doesn't have, like, when he's playing in a two beside Locatelli, just move up. Let him get the ball still and just move up. Stop playing on the wing, like you said. Stop playing beside Locatelli. Just move up. He'll get you the ball.
It's a weird one, especially because he was highly demanded. Like usually when a player is highly demanded by a coach, it kind of works.
Yes.
Because you make it work for that player.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's just not working. And the frustration grows among the fan base when you watch Thuram play, for example. I'm not going to say here Thuram is one of the best midfielders in the world, but he has improved massively.
That dude's a power horse, man.
Like there's so things he needs to clean up in his game.
Yeah, for sure.
But the steps he took are massive. And when he's not there and you watch as a fan base, you look at Koopmeiners, you're like it makes it worse. It makes it like, what do you see that we are not seeing? I think it is, but
yeah,
he's probably not going to get sold. But another guy maybe who's playing for his career, or if he's ever going to play again for us, is Douglas Luiz, because that transfer fell off from the get-go. I like Douglas Luiz, but I was like, I said in the summer, the moment we signed, I'm like, was it really needed? Really, really needed that we get him?
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here, I'm like, the injuries are insane because he was a fit player. So I don't even know how to judge this transfer. It's flopping because he's not there.
That's a bust. Yeah. I'm over it.
So is he a guy that the club will look to move out? And also, is he maybe in a situation where he's like, it's better for me to just move back?
Probably. I think Giuntoli is going to use him as it's not a trade piece, a swap. Just for something maybe in the prep, back in the prem, go back, dip your toes back in there and see what's good.
It's crazy, because you watch him for Villa as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. Yeah, a lot of set piece, GA and A.
Yeah, I know, but
he's still fluid and the ball was moving. And I think it's because we play with static wingers. Like they just stay out there, right? In the Premier League, he had Diaby before he went to Saudi Arabia last year.
Yeah,
and he had Ollie Watkins fast. He had John Duran, who's fast.
Bailey.
He had Leon Bailey. He had speed, and he could pick those players out. Remember yesterday, Luiz even sent Vlahovic on a breakaway. Like, I think it's still there. I think it's the way we set up. We're too static. Like, Yildiz is never going to run behind a back line because that's not him.
No.
Neither will Conceição. He can't sprint behind someone. He has to get the ball, beat them. Right? So, I think it's the way we set up. It's just not for him. And that's fine. We'll move you on because I think, obviously, he has a market back in England.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of top teams still want him. So, I think he'll leave out there again. No problem.
I think the value will kind of remain the same for him. If Premier League clubs are interested, it will.
Yeah.
It's just what will Giuntoli get in return for it? Is it money, depending on the club, interested? If Chelsea is interested, probably what's going to go down, most likely, which could be fine, I guess. But, it depends on the club, obviously. If it's a team like City, you're going to get cash. Get cash. I want to move on because I have 3 more questions before we wrap up. One of them is attack in general. Yildiz, too many rumors. Oh, he's leaving. Because he sat on the bench a couple of times. I don't think he's going to leave. I don't think he wants to leave. For him to leave, it means we are in a financial shit show, basically.
Yes.
Which I don't think is the case. I think we will make top 4. We should make top 4. Let me rephrase it. So I don't think that. But Conceição, Vlahovic, Gonzalez is out there.
I forgot about him. Jesus Christ.
Colomani. So a lot of moving pieces because Colomani is not our player. Conceição was not our player. Vlahovic is our player, but probably not for long. And somehow, somewhere, Milik is still on the paybook, on the
Oh my
payroll.
god, I forgot about him too.
Yeah, should be back in December in training. By the way, just keep it calm. It's been 3 months now. But what do you think? Like, let them go, splash, or find a way to keep Colomani. Conceição, is he worth 40 million in total?
Obviously, yeah, you keep Yildiz. Unless he wants to go, then like you said, then something's happening. Vlahovic, peace out. Like, yeah, you scored yesterday. Awesome. Thank you. But you don't fit this either. Like, if you don't fit what he wants to do, you got to go. And right now, we just spoke about Luiz for 5 minutes. It doesn't fit. Vlahovic, you don't fit. You're a very good striker of the ball. You make a lot of mistakes. You're not fast. You're not athletic. Sorry, you got to go. Like, Colomani just showed you up in 2 weeks. Now, we might see Colomani like struggle a bit in the near future and go through a rough patch, but he's already shown that he's athletic, that he has that little dynamism about him. He can get out of a situation, like against Inter, obviously. You could do some Vlahovic, just step on the ball and fall on his ass if he did that. Tried that. So, do stun out, Colo in, spend whatever you need to, or do that loan plus obligation thing next year. Conceição, no thanks. I'm over it.
He is.
It's been 6 months. I've seen the same move now, and the way he crosses the ball is equally just weird. I've seen him dribble out of bounds too many times. And yeah, the couple times he gets by someone, it looks cool. But it's a couple times. It's not even 5 out of, it's not even half the time he beats someone.
It's frustrating.
And 40 mil is a lot.
We're gonna buy him, by the way. It's
No,
gonna
100%
happen.
we are.
But it's frustrating because
Yeah.
you know, but I don't know his numbers by mind. Does he have 4 goals, 5 assists? I don't know. So
I can't even see him having that many assists because every time he crosses the ball, it gets blocked.
I think Motta said it himself. Like, he needs to play with the team more, but it's not happening, is it? You know, he's too focused on beating his man, which is cool. But there are so many occasions where I'm like, you don't need to beat your man right here. You just
I
don't.
know.
You can lay it off.
Play inside sometimes, bro. Like, just play to run off of him. Like,
It's frustrating. It really is, because when I watch him play, I'm like, you have attributes to make it work, but you're extremely stubborn, and it's not gonna work. And I think there's a lot of money for a player, in my opinion. When I watch him play, I'm like, it's too frustrating.
yeah.
It's just too frustrating because you're not learning.
Imagine the center forward just begging for like a touch. He's not getting it.
We're gonna buy him
again. Sorry, say it again.
No, we're gonna buy him. But I was thinking about, okay, I think this is a summer to really make a statement in terms of I'm gonna and people say, what? A player like Nico Paz can have an impact like Dybala had the time you signed him for us. Like, I'm looking at it, and like, if we're spending 30 million on Conceição, and I know positions, team setup wise, whatever. I'm like,
he's a 10 apparently, so if you're gonna use a 10,
Yeah.
get a 10.
I'm like, if you want to have an impact, I think that's a moment you can not pass on. I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's vital that if you spend 30 million, you're probably gonna spend more on Nico Paz, but like the picture, you spent that on Nico Paz, because I think he will change your life. He will change the life of a team.
Yep.
Like Dybala did at the time. I think Dybala was more talented at that time than Nico Paz and Palermo.
A little bit different because he's more forward.
Different, but
yeah,
I think he's just purely more talent, pure base, individual talent.
Yeah.
Dybala can do more, but whatever. In our situation, I'm like, if we're gonna spend that much money on Conceição, make the smart move and spend that on him. And that goes into my following questions. I have 2. One is, how important is it that besides a player we sign, and whoever leaves, or young, dynamic, we get experience. And with experience, I mean not Danilo profile wise, but experience in terms of they still have a year or two in the tank, especially in Serie A, and they're hungry. They want to play. How vital is it that Giuntoli brings at least one of them into the squad? A player who can also play up to at least 30 games of that, let's say 60 we play in a season.
So, anywhere on the field?
No, but
in the attack.
No, it doesn't matter for me. Probably midfield. I'm thinking like maybe attack, maybe midfield, but not even names.
Yeah.
Just
No,
you saw the
we do
list.
need older players. We do need older players. Like that, the whole we went diaper revolution really quick. We need older players. Like it's not as you can tell. The mental fragility of these guys is so low. I think our oldest player is Locatelli, outfielder, because I think De Gregor is a year older. But whatever, you know what I mean?
I like. Are you okay with? And I'm just like, okay, people will call me crazy. I'm not saying we're in for these players, by the way. But
Yeah,
are you? Yeah.
hypothetical.
Are you? Let's say Salah is gone, but he doesn't want to go to Saudi. He's like, I want to play in Europe. De Bruyne
Saudi?
doesn't want to go to Saudi. De Bruyne, he doesn't want to go to Saudi. He said, I want to play in Europe. Like, I don't want to go. How okay are you with the club? And I'm not saying we're in for these players,
Yes.
or we should.
Player or that type.
How comfortable would you be for the club to say, you know what? I know our wage structure is 7 max, but for 2 years you're gonna get 10. 2 years, 10 or 1 plus 1.
Yeah, you 100% do that with
You get 10 million.
Salah player, someone who has a proven record, like all the time and not injured or no injuries.
And I went extreme, by the way, people, because I know we can get 100 million in the Saudi. I'm just saying, if a player is like, no, I just want to play. I want to play meaningful football, Champions League, compete, and there's an opportunity. We remember 2 seasons ago it was about Modric. Everybody was like, no, not Modric. Remember, or was it a year ago? I don't know. And I was like, we need a play like that. I was so desperate that I was like,
Tony Cruz,
I was so desperate. I'm like, I would take Jorginho on a 1 year just to install some sort of mindset in the squad, for one season.
Yeah, we need it. 100%. 100%.
I don't think Giuntoli's going to do it, by the way.
No, he's not. He went full diaper FC mode, man. It was crazy. I was shocked that we went for Colomani and we want to keep him. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. But you need someone who's been there, done that before. I'm going to be honest. You're saying 1. We need 2 or 3.
I agree, but I don't.
Bremer, to be honest, he can be one of them because he's 27 now, 28. But he's not won much. But he's still like he's been there, done that in the league, is what I'm saying. So if you can get like another dude in midfield and maybe like Gonzalez, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about him, but he is horrible. That's the wrong age or this experienced player that we should have got. That is horrible. I don't even know why I thought he was something totally different at Fiorentina.
Really? I thought he was a GA. He's not even getting it that now. That's my issue.
That's right. But that's what he.
Oh, okay. He's doing too much right now. He needs to keep it simple.
Yeah. He's on some drugs. It looks like just running the whole game, not knowing where he's going, dribbling into the corner, but dude, not good. So if you avoid those kind of players, but you bring in a guy with good experience, a little bit of age to him, like 28 into maybe creeping into 30. Yeah, absolutely. You need 2 of those players, not just 1.
Let's see. I will be stunned, and probably if we do that, it will be a player we'll all be like, "What? Really?
Yeah, like
him?
Like please, not him." Yeah, exactly.
That's my fear. But yeah, let's see. Final question, which is the biggest question. The title is Who Will Survive 25? And with 25, I mean, like I said earlier on, now summer, basically post Club World Cup, and it's Motta. Do you think he will survive? And with survive, I mean, will he be in charge August 1 preseason?
I think something has to go really wrong. I think if he gets top 4 and he makes the final, let's say against Inter in the Coppa Italia, I think he's in.
Do you believe
Not
in
my
him?
standards, his standards.
Do
Or
you,
Giuntoli, what? Do I believe he'll do it?
do you know? Do you believe that he is the right guy, or like next season, second season, you clean up whatever you need to clean up, and you get it in what you need to get it.
I need to see a second season. I wanted a second season of Pirlo. I need to
Fair.
see a second season of this guy. Pirlo did more than Motta, like at this point. So he also had Ronaldo. Like, yeah, he had Ronaldo and all that stuff. But I want to see a second season. The same reason why I gave Coop Miners. I want, like, I don't think he'll be sold. I think he should have a proper training camp. I want to see, with the players he has after a year of experience, if we do retain Chico, how does he respond to a second season? If you do retain Kalulu, who came in the end of August as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just stuff like that. Bremer will be back, and I think Bremer's the dude who'll be. I'm gonna knock on wood here, but I think he's a guy who will have no issues coming back. But I'm knocking on wood, just because he's a physical freak and he doesn't rely on his like pivots and turns and all that stuff. So I think he'll be back and ready to rock. And I think you have to let him try again, because it's just been a nightmare at the back. Only if he does the bare minimum and gets top 4.
Okay.
But if he finishes 5th, gone. Peace. Sorry.
You know what it is? Somebody asked me that, and I'm like, you can miss top 4 by one. Like, Pirlo made it because Faraoni scored against Napoli.
Yep.
Like, and you keep him because he made top 4, but it's like, he shouldn't, that season. Like, Napoli shouldn't have lost to Verona, but they did for some weird reason. They did. I don't want to base my opinion on that. I saw reports, if he finished 5th, he's out. I'm like, you can miss out on 1 point. So if he got that 1 point, he's in. Like, I don't want to make
but
like
it's the body of the season though. It's like, don't
it is, but like it's like you're going into the new season based on 1 point. I'm like, yeah, like I want to see improve. From now we play 1 game a week. Injuries, yes, it is what it is. I want to see something that I've seen in spells with more continuity throughout 90 minutes. And I'm fine with that. I said I'll give Giuntoli 2 summers. So this summer. So I'm not getting him out.
That's the bigger issue.
Yeah, I need to see the big picture. I need to see what am I missing right here. Am I missing something? I like, maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe it's me. So I need to see big picture. And like you said, 2 seasons. Because when Sadi got sacked, I wasn't for it. I'm like, you won the league. Players don't like it. I'm like, just stop crying, players. Like, make it work. With Pirlo, the same thing. I'm like, I don't like going from one coach to the other coach. And people are like, oh, but you become like Man U. I'm like, that doesn't mean like that's like sacking a coach is also like they sacked them. They got worse. Like they got worse. Like really bad. Milan sacked Pioli. Fonseca, excuse me. They got worse in my opinion. They're awful. I don't care if they won the Super Cup. We all watched those games. They shouldn't have won it. If not for Locatelli, they would have been out. They didn't have a shot on target up to that moment. I don't care. They got worse. So it's not a given. And I'm like, who's out there? It's gonna be it's gonna be a risk again, basically. So that's like I'm on your side. I'm like, I need to see a second season. I need to see it.
Yeah. Giuntoli's, in my opinion, Giuntoli's more on the hot seat than Motta is, because he spent this money, random ass money. When we're in a situation where we can't spend random ass money, like Kelly's random and shit. Costa, like that's a pure permanent transfer. Why? Olomani, dry loan, lots of money. Vega, dry loan, lots of money. I know those are quick fixes and like try to be quick fixes in January, but again, like Douglas Luiz, Coop Miners, looks bad now, right? That's on you, bro. Like that is on you.
That's why I said 2 summers. Maybe he finds a way to keep Kolu on a good deal or Vega on a good deal, and he can move on Douglas Luiz back, and he brings in, people believe Tonali, which is not going to happen. But like maybe after a summer, I'm like, I mean, people think the rumors are real, because Fabiano Della Valle said it's a real thing, that he's already in talks with him. But in general, if you sit back at the end of the summer, you're like, it makes more sense right now. I'm like, cool. That's why I said 2 summers. Because I like, if you start sacking sporting directors year in, year out, on top of coaches, then you will become Man U really quickly. Really quickly. And how long have we won? 4 seasons. It's going into the 5th right now. 1 with Pirlo, 3 with Allegri. So now it's the 5th season that you're not winning the league. Next season, you need to be there. You need to start winning.
At least close. Yeah, we haven't been close in those 4 years.
No.
I think we've been fourth, like, obviously points issue.
Yeah, it's not been close. And also Napoli play more games next season, which is probably going to be a disaster for them. And Inter, I don't know, like it's...
They're aging. Like, you can tell they're aging.
Yeah, like they're aging and they need a lot of fixes, and I don't think they have a lot of money, so they need to be very creative. So I have certain expectations next season for everybody at the club. Let's see, I guess. We're gonna wrap this one up, people. We answered the question. Motta will survive for now, apparently.
Yeah.
Some players might not, according to us.
Oh, definitely not.
Some players are probably done, and some are playing for the future at the club, whatever future that might be, as a starter or as a squad player. Who knows? The next couple of months will tell us quite a lot, a lot in terms of, do you get Champions League football? That's one. And how does the market look? How desperate are teams to get a striker in Vlahovic? I think extremely desperate. Coming from the Premier League this summer, I think we will have no issue moving on Vlahovic as well. So let's see. People, I forgot to say it. Hit the like button.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribe. It is what it is. It's probably not going to happen, but it is what it is. I messed up. Julian, thanks for joining and sharing, I don't know, the doubts rather than the pain. I'll call it doubts right now.
Yeah, lots of doubts, lots of questions, especially when you're 4th and struggling. As we usually do.
We made a lot of ground recently, which is nice and frustrating at the same time, considering how many points we dropped. Stupid points.
Yeah,
we dropped. How bad we are. We should have at least got 3-4 more games over the line because we were in total control in most of them. But it is what it is, people. Hit the like button, subscribe. I don't know when the next show will be. Who knows? So stay tuned, and I will let you guys know for the next podcast.
One more thing. I'm going to the game in Philadelphia.
Oh, who do we play?
So in the Club World Cup.
Oh, it's not drawn, right? Or
no, not in Toronto. I have to go to the States.
Is the draw already taken place? No, right?
Oh, the draw? Yeah, we have 3 games. We play Man City, we play Al Wydad, and we play somebody else.
Oh, I think a Moroccan team, right? No.
Yeah, Al Ain.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Who do we play in Philly? You said
we play Al Wydad in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I'm going to that one, and Washington's Al Ain, and then I forget the Man City one's too far. I'm pretty sure for me.
Nice. I completely forgot it was wrong. That's how invested I'm. I mean, not really.
No, I'm going because I can't.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's why I'm going.
That's fair. Let's see. I mean, that's the last thing on my mind. That's probably a very relaxed tournament going in because I don't. We're not gonna win it. It's like just vibes. It is what it is. Half the teams, Vega's gone already because we made a ridiculous deal for that one as well. Probably Colomani is not going to be there, so it's gonna be a weird vibe anyway. But we will talk about that in due time. Again, people, thanks for watching, and speak to you guys later tonight. Preview. We play Empoli. Ciao.